Do you have to pay to be on Upwork? This is a very common question, especially for beginners who are new to the world of freelancing and are curious about protecting their interests and making sure that they don't sign up for scams or aren't paying too much. Now, let me tell you, in comparison with so many other types of freelance platforms, that Upwork is extremely affordable in comparison. For example, if you were to sign up with Contena, which is a paid service model for freelance writers, I believe the last time I checked, that cost over $100 a month for 6 months being paid out. One of the only cheaper alternatives to Upwork is a tool and website known as FlexJobs. And you can often find coupons and promo codes for FlexJobs, especially if you join the email list for freelancewritinggigs.com. I paid for a year of FlexJobs for something like $44. So because of that, that made it cheaper. However, I've heard from freelancers in my Facebook group, which I will link below if you want more free, great trainings about becoming a master of your freelance business and life, that other people have been charged as much as $14 a month to be a member of FlexJobs and then never got any gigs out of it. So Upwork is no different from some of these other sites in the way of thinking that you're not going to land every job you bid on. And that is a really common mistake that new freelancers make. They'll come in my Facebook group, or I'll see these posts on Quora where they're like, I bid 5 times and I didn't make $1 million. And it's like, you have to bid a lot more than 5 times to land your first job because you essentially have no credibility on that site. It doesn't even matter if you've been an established freelancer elsewhere. If you can't draw in that connection on your bids, you're not going to stand out. Upwork is extremely competitive. It has become more competitive in the last year and a half, especially in certain categories like writing. A lot of people have had to apply multiple times to even get their profile accepted to the site. So if that is you, keep trying, keep at it, but you really need to position yourself as someone who can really benefit clients on the site, because Upwork doesn't like to allow like thousands of people in a category when there aren't that many jobs. They like to choose the best of the best. So there's 2 different ways that freelancers pay on Upwork: membership plans and then on a per project or per hour basis. So let's walk through membership plans first. You do not have to opt into the paid plus Upwork membership plan. The Freelancer Basic plan is the default for anyone who signs up for the site. It is free to everyone. However, upgrading to a plus plan makes sense if you want additional privileges, if you want the opportunity to see the high and low average bids on the proposals that you're submitting, to add team members because you want to grow an agency, or get additional connects, which connects are essentially the bids that you purchase. So you will automatically be put into the Freelancer Basic plan unless you upgrade to the Plus plan. Now, the Plus plan at the time of this recording is $10 a month. And it blows my mind how many people are not willing to spend $10 a month to even try Upwork for a couple of months. They're like, oh, it's so expensive. And it's like, really? You pay more for that? Like, if you were to look in your subscription apps and like see like you subscribe to Showtime and HBO through Amazon, or like all these other little things that are $10. And if you're not willing to invest $10 in growing your business, you shouldn't be in business at all, right? Because the more your company grows, the more expenses will be growing. Like if you've ever read the book Profit First, which is amazing, I recommend it for any 6-figure freelancers and business owners. Once you surpass the $250,000 income level and are really moving more towards the $500K mark, expenses could make up as much as 50% of your revenue, right? So if you're not comfortable with spending $10, like you're never going to feel comfortable hiring a virtual assistant, hiring people to help you, paying someone to create a logo. And it's like, think about that mentality that you have. How are you going to convince clients to hire you if you're not even willing to invest in yourself? So that's my diatribe on that, because it just blows my mind with how many people are like, $10, it's so expensive. Like, I invested in that $10 when I wasn't even making money yet on the Upwork platform, because I really wanted to give it a solid 6 months to try it out and see if it would work. So if you're not willing to invest that, you're probably not willing to purchase books on the matter, to become better at your craft, to pay coaches, like to do all of the things that you really need to do to grow your business successfully. $10 is such a low barrier to entry, and you owe that to yourself. And if if that's too much for you, then you're probably not cut out to be a freelancer, because there's a whole lot of other expenses associated with things like setting up a website, where you'd be paying for hosting, you'd be paying for your domain name. You might have to pay a professional to build your site. It's going to cost way more than $10. And I used my Upwork profile for the first 3 years of running my business with no website. So far less expensive than building a website. Let's talk about the Plus plan, which is the $10 a month. You're going to get an additional 10 connects per month. You'll see on the job how many connects are required to bid on a job. It's usually between 2 and 4. You can also buy additional connects for $1 each, and then you can roll over up to 140 unused connects. So if you're fully booked in a particular month, you can roll that over to a future month. You can also see the average high and low bids on particular jobs, put a customized URL on your freelancer profile, and you can also hide your earnings. This is something that's a little bit controversial in the Upwork world. When you're new, you might want to hide your earnings because you think they're not enough. I also know lots of successful freelancers on the Upwork platform who hide their earnings at the higher level because, frankly, we just don't want anyone to know how much we've earned on the platform. Now, there's an additional Plus plan that you'd have to pay $20 a month if you want to run an agency. So there's all kinds of great stuff on the Upwork support articles, more about that membership plan. Try out the free version, but don't be surprised if you run through your connects quickly. When I got started, I not only upgraded to the Plus, but I bought extra connects because it took me a while to get traction on the site. Okay, so now that we have talked about how it works for paying as a monthly member on Upwork, there's another way that you have to make payments as a freelancer, and these are the service fees. So every job that you complete, every milestone, and every hour is subject to Upwork's service fees. So the freelancer is charged a fee of 20% of the first $500 billed with a client, 10% for the lifetime billings with the client between $500 and 1 penny, and up to $10,000. So real great incentive here. Upgrade to a bigger project. Look for projects with repeat work. And then 5% for any billings that exceed $10,000. I view this as a cost of doing business, right? This is the fee I'm paying to Upwork for them to connect me with amazing clients. Roll the 20% fee in to your bid. You don't even need to tell the client you're doing it. This is another thing that blows my mind when people online are blasting Upwork and they're like, oh, but they charged me 20%. Not if you're doing it correctly, right? Like, not if you're rolling this into your bid or only applying on jobs where it would make sense, like that would even things out. I have always viewed the 20, 10, and 5% as a cost of doing business. And unless you're charging yourself dirt cheap rates, and you're not getting paid enough, this shouldn't even be something that affects you. You pay fees using PayPal as well. You pay fees using a credit card processor. So those fees might be less with those other methods, but Upwork is bringing the pre-sold clients to you. So that is a fee I am happy to pay because I'm using their platform. I'm getting their payment protection, and they're connecting me with clients that would not have found me otherwise. So these are the two different ways that you pay costs. We'll link some other videos below with some tips on payments and tricks to use on the Upwork platform.